Wow. Okay, guys. Recording me doing a live stream. Uh, it floats. The boat floats. Miss Lily 2 is in the water and she's floating. So that's half the battle. It has been a long day and it's going to be a long day yet, but I decided to take a quick break and do a live stream since everyone's pinging me wanting to know if it went in the water today or not. My phone's just been blowing up with people, which is awesome. I mean, I'm not complaining one bit. I love it. I absolutely love it. But I don't mean to be rude to people and not call people back, but yeah, I'm out of breath. It's been a hell of a day. I've got half of my truck unloaded onto the boat already, and I've got more to do, but we had one little hiccup. I don't know if you guys can see that. See that crack right there? Hey, Dave G. See that crack? I don't know why they use gate valves instead of ball valves, but they did. And apparently this one froze last winter, or the winter before, or the winter before, or whenever. Sometime during the last few years, this froze, and it blew. See there how blown that is? Blew this gate valve. So we put the boat in the water. And of course, first thing I did was jump down and check all the through holes. I had them all closed, but I went down and checked them all, see if any of them were leaking. And only one leaked, and it was that one. So Gary here from Deepwater Marina jumped in and, hey everybody. Hey Chuck, hey Danny. He jumped in, he had the right tools. I had the tools, but I left them home. I didn't have the right tools for that. You know, pipe wrenches and stuff. Anyhow, so he jumped in and we got the old valve off without spinning the through hole, which was nice. And I just ran over here to a local hardware store. Unfortunately, they didn't have gate valves. All they had was ball valves. So for the time being, I threw another ball valve on it. I didn't reroute all the plumbing. I just put it back together again so that it would be floating and not drowning. And so it's been floating now for about a half hour or so while I've been loading stuff on there. I'm getting all my stuff in the truck unloaded onto it. And then I'm going to check the bilge again and make sure everything stays nice and dry and clean. And then then I have a 3-hour drive back to Lancaster. So 82 in Naples. I hope to be there soon, man. It is, oh, I don't know. I don't have my truck turned on here. I don't know what it is here in 50 degrees here in Sandusky. 50 degrees. So we had one little mishap. I tried to use my drone to film them lifting the boat and sitting it in the water. For some reason, I couldn't get my drone to communicate and fire up. I don't know what happened, but maybe I was just nervous and excited and not hitting the right buttons. I don't know, but I did record it with my head cam and my other GoPro though. So we have all that footage. I even got footage of us inside trying to replace the valve, and just so you'll see all that in the near future. Thanks, Austin. But I've been up since 1 o'clock this morning. I woke up at 1 a.m. last night and just, my mind's just racing a million miles an hour with all the things I had to think about and take care of. You can hear Miss Lily whining. She wants to go out. She's tired of being in the truck all day. I don't blame her. Man, I'm exhausted. Sit. Thank you. I'm exhausted and I've got a lot more work yet to do. I got to get all this stuff unloaded, then I got a 3-hour drive back to Lancaster. Tomorrow, I'm going to install the battery and see if we can get the motor started. So tomorrow, I'm going to move the rest of my stuff onto the boat. I mean, all the rest of my stuff moves onto the boat except for my blankie and pillow. That'll come up with me on Sunday with Rhonda and with Silly. But tomorrow, everything else, sit. Everything else but 1 or 2 bags is going to get loaded on the truck or on the boat tomorrow. And we'll hook up the battery and we'll work on getting the motor running. That's the challenge for tomorrow. Man, guys, I'm tired. So anyhow, I wanted to touch base on a couple things. I had a guy make a comment and it was a bunch of real negative crap. He made some ridiculous comment about how quickly I'm going to take down this post. And as soon as I read that, I mean, that's as far as I got in it. I was reading the thing, and he said, oh, you know, I know you don't have any tolerance for anybody who has any naysaying or whatever. And I'll bet, you said, everybody else watch, see how quickly he takes his post down. As soon as I saw that, I took the post down. If you're just attacking and being critical, you know, life's too short for that nonsense. If you don't like the way I live and the way I'm doing stuff, don't watch the videos. It's fine. If you want to watch and kibitz and do it yourself privately or amongst your friends, I don't want to hear it. It's you, you know, not me. You have no idea who I am or what I'm doing or how I'm doing things. And you know what? I'm the kind of guy that'll tie 5 logs together and float the Mississippi and have a ball this summer. In this case, I'm going to float this boat and take it down to Florida and have a ball. That's just the way it is, you know? So, sit down. Settle down. There's Gary. Great guy. Really, really great guy. So, we've got the mast right in front of me right now. We got to start working on it. I got to replace the halyards on it. That's, I think, the only critical thing. There's 2 spreader lights. One is okay, the other one's not. The wiring for the spreader lights is crap. Although, for just crossing Lake Erie, I'm not going to worry about it. Because I'm only going to be 5, 6, 7 days crossing Lake Erie. And then I'm going to spend a little time over in Buffalo. If you don't like Howard Stern, don't listen. Yeah, right? Same thing. Yeah, I mean, I live my life my way, the way I enjoy living. And if that's not okay with you, that's fine. But sounds like Lily wants some camera time. Actually, Frank, Lily needs to go out, I think, is what the problem is. I think she's got to go potty. It's after 5:30, I think, now, and the boatyard's kind of quieting down. So I'm going to let her out here as soon as we get done with this live stream and let her do her business. By then I'll have regained the energy to move the rest of the stuff out of the truck. Now is all the heavy stuff. I got the battery I got to move. You can work on the spreader lights while the mast is down through the canal. Exactly, Austin. That's what I want to do. Yeah, exactly. The spreaders themselves, I want to disassemble them and paint them and clean them up. I want to buy new lights. I saw these really cool, I was at Walmart actually, these really cool LED, very, very bright 12-volt lights. Heavy duty anodized aluminum frame with fins on it so that it dissipates the heat, which I found interesting because I thought the LEDs weren't supposed to generate a lot of heat, but supposedly they're super bright. Go for it, son. I am going for it, man. I am going for it. So I was actually thinking about buying a pair of those, but they're like 27 bucks a piece or something, so hey, that's cheaper than the lights, the stupid lights that are on there now, which are just junk stuff. I think they're like 80 bucks at Wally World, or at I missed it. I just joined. Hope you run the engine yet. No, haven't run the engine yet. I just got in from a walk. Look like stuff, but does she float? Yes, 12 degrees. She is floating. She is a floaty boat. She is a floaty boat. My boat. Yes, I said my boat floats. I done floated my boat. That's fun to say. I floated my boat. So, and I'll tell you what, I got you guys here. If you don't mind being shaky a little bit, I'm going to show you my mast and I'm going to show you the boat. So will you guys bear with me while I do that? It's going to get a little shaky because I'm taking you out of the holder and we're going to hand do this. Now, Lily, you stay. Stay. No, you know what? Come on. Come on. We'll let her out. Okay. I'm going to aim this around so you can see what I'm looking at. No, that's not what I want to do. That's what I want to do. There's my mast. There's the mast. And there's Miss Lily. And that's the crane. That's the crane that set it in. They have this really neat tractor system trailer that they use to move the boats up. All the boats sit in cradles, but anyhow, that's the mast. You see, here's the spreaders. These have got to get cleaned up and painted. That one's broken. So I'm going to get these cleaned up and repainted while I'm underway in the canal system. Lily, you stay here. Lily, come. Here, I might as well show you the rest of the mast. Go up here to the top. Here's the top of the mast. And that's what it looks like up here. So eventually I'd like to replace this with a better light. This is I think this is the VHF antenna, but there's another one on the back of the boat. So I'm not sure which one's working. This is where the wind indicator goes. But everything here looks to be in really good shape. All the rigging is in fine shape, but the lines and the halyards, they're kind of moldy and nasty. They all need to be replaced. So that's what we're going to do there. And there she is. Lily, come. There's the Miss Lily 2. That's what she looks like in the water. That's my $2,000 sailboat. And of course, I got a bunch of stuff back there because I'm still loading stuff onto the boat. But that's what she looks like. The Lily 2. Billy, come. Come on. Come on board. Come on. Come on. Come on, Lily, here. Whoa. Okay, I guess I have a flying dog. It's the Flying Labrador. So there's Lily on the boat. See how that sail track is right there? I don't like that because Lily just dropped the leg in there. I don't want her breaking a leg back there, but yep. There's the boarding ladder that came with it. The plastic steps are all kind of broke down by the UV light. I kind of was thinking, I wondered if I might be able to rig up something to replace them out of wood or aluminium or something. Aluminum. I don't know. I don't care for the wire connectors there at the base of the mast. Little weird 2-pin connectors. I think I'm going to find something better to do there. There's the hatch open. So the lifelines have to all get pinned in place. They just set into those holders. See the holder there? They just set into that holder. And my anchor up on deck. So, no, that ladder isn't going to hold anything. So, and here's Sandusky Bay. That's what Sandusky Bay looks like. Got a little park here with Canadian gooses. What are you biting my feet for? Don't do that. I'm going to trip and fall in the lake. I'm going to trip and fall in the lake. What are you silly dog for? What are you being such a silly dog for, huh? Why are you being such a silly dog? Huh? You just like getting out? You did your business and now you're feeling funky? Anyhow, here's the base of the mast. Some Barlow 15s, Variant, stainless 10. Not too bad. We only have one bad wire. This is one of the little baby stays on the side. It's got one wire out. I'm going to replace that, but I might replace it now. I'll replace that later. There's a roll of furling. There's the nest of whatever's living inside my mast. I got to get that cleaned out. But and the spaghetti wiring, got to get all that sorted out. But there you go. Lily, come. Lily, come. Whoa, don't knock me over. All right, in the truck. Okay, guys. It's gonna get a little jumpy here while I reinstall you in my truck. So, bear with me a second. There we go. Yeah, so there's the boat, there's the mast, right? I mean, what more can you ask for? Tomorrow, the engine hopefully will start. I looked it over pretty good today. I don't see any oil in the water or any water in the oil. That's half the battle. I bought a new fuel filter for it, although the fuel filter on it looks pretty clean. Miss Lily looks like a marine surveyor of the yard. Yeah, she definitely is a nosy dog. She likes going around and just inspecting everything. So she's got to walk up and stick her nose onto everything and check it out and make sure it meets the Miss Lily seal of approval. Although she certainly jumped on the Lily too pretty quick. Damn, I thought she was going to go clear over the other side. Congratulations on your progress. You are one day closer to leaving. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am, Barb. I certainly am. And I will. I may have to paddle the son of a gun, or I may have to do like Aubrey over at, thanks, Peaceful Dawn. I may have to do like Aubrey did over at Sailing Miss Lone Star. You know, she put one of those little outboard motor mounts on the back. Lots of good luck, Carl. The boat looks great. What waterway is the boat on right now? It's on Lake Erie at the Sandusky Bay. We are in Sandusky Bay at the Deepwater Marina, it's called. And that's Sandusky Bay right there. Really nice spot here. The marina is really rough. It's kind of a rough industrial feel, you know, working marina kind of place. This is not a glitz and glam. There ain't no swimming pool or hot and cold showers. Let's put it that way. This is pretty rough. This is a working man's marina. This guy Gary that runs the place, he's just the salt of the earth kind of guy, really super guy. And I have to kind of laugh at him. Gary don't have a computer. He doesn't do email. They don't have a website. They don't do any of that stuff. So it's kind of funny, but anyhow, I walk into the marina today and in the marina office to talk to Gary, making arrangements to splash the boat. And he hands me a package. And I was like, what the hell is this? And my name's on it. I'm like, okay, what the hell? I open it up, and inside there's am I close to Cedar Point? I'm actually looking at Cedar Point right now. Here, hold on a minute. I'll just take you out, turn you around. There's Cedar Point right there. That is all Cedar Point, not this rock outcropping here in the distance. That's Cedar Point over there. Give you a little perspective of where I'm at. So, anyhow, Gary's just a real super guy. He's been nothing but wonderful helping me with the boat here, which is exactly what I needed. So it's a rough industrial place, but I couldn't think of a better place to come to for what I'm doing here, for, you know, doing a down and dirty and low budget, I mean no budget, putting this boat in the water and getting it going. So, and Gary appreciates that, you know. He's not a fancy guy. He's a hardworking guy just like anybody else. And so he seemed, I guess maybe that's why he wanted to help me. So anyhow, yes, I'm sorry. Package in the marina. I'm sorry. I got sidetracked. So I open this package up, and it's a little brass connector. And what it is, it's a connector to connect to the, you know, the little Coleman propane bottles, the 1 pound propane bottles. Well, I don't like the idea of buying 88,000s of those and using them once and tossing them away. They're refillable. Well, this is an adapter that, King of Chuck, thanks. Yeah, I need that sometimes. Hey, 12 degrees, man. Thank you. That is awesome. I really appreciate that, man. That's awesome. Awesome, man. Very good. Anyhow, it was this little adapter that you can connect the 1 pound cylinders to a 20 pound bottle, or bigger bottle anyway. And then you can use a 20 pounder to fill the 1 pounders. So I can recycle the 1 pound bottles. Well, one of my viewers bought that and sent it to me. But apparently what's funny is, he sent it to me as a surprise, but have a beer, you deserve it. I don't have any beer, and I can't have a beer tonight. I've got a long drive ahead of me. I still have an hour, at least an hour and a half worth of work to do, and then I have a 3 hour drive. So anyhow, he called me and he said that Amazon screwed up. Apparently he was sending me the little connector that allows me to fill the 1 pound bottles off the 20 pound bottles as a gift, but he was also selling me sending me a propane stove that I can mount into the boat so I can cook. And he was shipping both of those to me as a surprise, as a gift. And I thought, man, that's really nice. I said, but I didn't get the stove, just the thing came. And he said, yeah, Amazon screwed up. They sent me the propane thing, and they sent him the stove. So he called them up and complained to them. I guess they're putting a rush on, and they're shipping a stove. Should be here in a day or two. Well, the guy bought me a stove. How cool is that, huh? So I'll be able to cook on board the boat. That's just freaking awesome. That's really cool. That's really cool. So really nice guy, really nice guy. And you know, like the guys here just jumped on Super Chat, man. It's just awesome. You guys are the salt of the earth kind of people. And you know, it's day and night between those that the doers and the naysayers, you know. It's really a polar opposite. I'm amazed at how many people out there are supportive of what I'm doing and the other cruisers and sailors are doing, and want to see the content and want to live vicariously through the crazy, you know, train wreck lifestyles that we tend to leave. And then there's the naysayers. Oh, you can't do that. You need $20,000 or $250,000 in the bank and a big boat and all this kind of stuff. You have the perfect boat for the canal and the Cape. Oh, you got that right, Connie. It's going to be awesome. It is going to be awesome through the canal. It's going to be awesome down Long Island Sound, go around the Cape Hatteras, Massachusetts, Martha's Vineyard. I may even go up to Maine this summer, get some lobster. Who knows? Hey, Palm Limit. So I bought a rake. I'm going to do some clamming there in Long Island Sound. I'm going to return the rake, actually. I bought it because I thought I was going to need it. I had to laugh. I'll tell you a funny story of myself. I'm an idiot, okay? So I'm going to tell you that I'm an idiot. There was water in the bilge, and the boat doesn't have an automatic bilge pump. It has a whale pump, hand-operated whale pump backed by the steering pedestal. So I went to dig into the locker where the handle was supposed to be. Well, sure enough, I found the handle. I found I have a second anchor. I didn't know that. I've got a second anchor with a nice rope on it, so that's nice. I'm going to make a bridle so I can stern tie if I need to. But anyhow, I pull everything out of the locker. Hey, Trev. And the handle to the whale pump is all the way down at the bottom, and it looked like it was sliding down into the bilge about 4 feet further away than my arm is long. And there's no way my fat gut was going to fit down through that opening into the lazarette. So I'm like, you're the salt of the earth. You shall be salty soon. Thank you, Peaceful Don. I appreciate that, man. It's got to be a while before I'm salty. I'm out here in fresh water. Anyhow, you know, so I came in here. I spoke to the guy, man, I can't reach this thing. What am I going to do? And so he gave me one of these long-handled, you know, gripper type things. I'm like, man, I don't think that's long enough. So I had to go get some wasp spray because there was some hornet's nest in the little holder for the winch handle. There was some wasp nest in there. So I had to get some spray to spray them so I didn't get stung. And I bought a rake, figuring I could reach down with the rake and maybe a gravel rake with the tines of the rake, I could hook it and kind of pull it back up. I thought that would be, you know, a possible solution for that. Well, anyhow, when I got back and I, you know, carried the rake up there and I brought his little long extension thing up there, I was able to reach it with his little extension thing without any problem whatsoever. Reached down and grabbed it. But then as it grabbed it, I realized that the guy that sold me the boat already had the handle tethered. There was a line attached to it that ran all the way up to right underneath the lid. I didn't see the line hanging down. It was a very small, thin line, but the thing was tethered. So all I had to do was just reach about 2 inches away from the top and grab the line and pull the thing up. There's no way the thing could get lost. It's actually secured and tied to the boat. So what a dumbass. Lily will travel. Lily will, yeah, she will travel. She will travel. She will travel just fine. Hey, Jordan, nice to see you, man. Thanks for coming along. I appreciate it. Would you use a long hose attachment on a barbecue-sized propane tank? I could, actually. Not for the cook stove, although I could for that too, actually. They make conversion kits for them. So I could do that. If I set the propane tank into the cockpit, the way the cockpit is designed, the propane, if it leaked any, it would naturally flow out a vent hole in the back. It would be kind of in the way there, but I could do that. I could do that and put it behind the steering column all the way in the back corner. But what I was thinking about doing is putting a hose from it up to the grill. The guy I'm buying the boat from has got one of those round propane grills that mounts on the boat. So that's great. Never buy a boat that don't float. Sorry, I got here late. No problem, Smoking. No problem. She does float if you Well, you can watch this later on. I showed some video of the mast and the boat floating. I'm in the process of unloading the truck onto the boat. I just had to take 5 and take a minute. Well, I guess I've taken 25 now. Just to take a short break before I finish loading the rest of the stuff in. I can't go too late because I really have to get going. I have to drive home tonight. I was up at 1 o'clock this morning and getting things organized, and I left to head this way. I was on the road by 4 a.m. Oh, it's been a big old long day today. Big old long day. Oh, and we fixed the only one problem. The only one problem we had with the boat was that. After you move on board, will everything you own be with you, and do you have stuff in storage? Yes and no. Hey, Trav, thank you, man. Appreciate that, man. That's awful nice of you. Thank you. Very cool. Yeah, this is the part that broke. You can see what happened to it. It froze and cracked. See the crack there and the crack right there? This was the gate valve on the through hole directly underneath the sink. It's the drain for the galley sink and the bathroom sink. And apparently this had water in it and froze sometime in the past. All the rest of the through holes worked just fine. I had actually loosened up and dropped the what do you call it? The transducer. I dropped the transducer out because I noticed it wasn't sealed up real tight. And I put some 5200 around that. That's a white, really sticky adhesive stuff. And I lined it up properly. It wasn't lined up originally, so I got lined up, stuck in, and then went inside and tightened the nut down to it. And it's now sealed up tight. It's not leaking at all. The little gauge that tells you the water speed, it's fluttering away, and it's not leaking. And there's a through hole up underneath the V-berth that was originally for a head that used to be up there before it was taken out, and you know that wasn't leaking, and that's closed, so that's no water there. Gate valves on a sailboat. Yeah, I don't know why. Well, okay, I don't know why they put those on. I prefer a ball valve because you can see the angle of the valve immediately. I mean, you can open a cabinet and look at it and see it's open or closed at a glance. With a gate valve, you can't tell that. Unfortunately, I was in a hurry to fix this and replace it, so I had to put another gate valve on because that's all the local hardware store had. I didn't want to take the time to drive all the way over to like Home Depot or Lowe's trying to find a 3/4 inch ball valve to replace it. So I just stuck another gate valve on it real quick, which I'm not happy with, but it is what it is. Did you crank the motor up yet? No, Smoking. I'm going to try to work on the motor tomorrow. It got too late. Are the mainsail controls run to the cockpit on Cal, or do you have to raise? Yeah, you got to go up on deck to raise and lower the main. It does have a roller furling, but I do have to go up on deck to raise and lower the mainsail. Other than that, all the other lines are led aft except for raising the mainsail. Hey, Ian, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Just having a short break here, guys, while I'm unloading all my stuff into the boat, and then I got to drive back to Lancaster. So we're not going to have this too much longer. I'm going to wrap this up here pretty quick. I just needed to take a breather and relax and stop sweating before I finish carrying. I got about half the stuff moved in. I got all the heavy stuff left. I've got the starter battery in the truck. I got to move that in. I got the outboard motor. I got the dinghy. I got to move that onto the boat. I've got one big heavy tote in here yet I got to move on. So right now, and then I've got 4 bags of tools in it. So I've got like 5 really heavy items to move next. And then I've got a couple things sitting on the boat I have to get moved down below and stored away. Does the marina have good security? No, none whatsoever. No security here at the marina at all. There's no gate. There's no fence. Anybody in Sandusky can walk over here and walk around and get on boats if they wanted to. So you're at risk, really, to a certain degree. The guy here, Gary, told me that, you know, he wouldn't worry about it. Schedule-wise, okay, let me give you guys an update on schedule. So today we put the boat in the water. Tomorrow is all going to be all about getting the motor started and moving Lilia's security. Yeah, that would work. She licked someone to death. We're going to move the rest of my stuff on the boat and get the motor started tomorrow. That's what's happening tomorrow. Saturday morning, the guy's picking up my truck. So Saturday, I'm going to be doing some editing. I'm going to put together a video or two, a real video or two, because that's all I have to do all day Saturday is work on that. And then Sunday morning, Rhonda, I believe Sunday morning, Rhonda is going to drive me here and drop me off at the boat. We're going to stop and meet the guy that I'm buying the boat from and pay him and get the title to it. And then Monday I'll be up here, or Sunday night I'll be here. And Sunday night I will be living on the boat from Sunday night on. Monday I got to walk over to the Bureau of Motor Vehicles. It's only about a mile walk from here. I got to walk over there and take care of the title. Well, that's not very nice, Vera. Video of Skim Knuckles swearing coming up. That's not a high crime area. Yeah, they thought it was going to be safe here and shouldn't have been a problem, so I wasn't too worried about it. And, okay, I get sidetracked a lot, don't I? I'm sorry. Anyhow, then I'll be on the boat. Then Sunday, I'm going to walk over to Bureau of Motor Vehicles, get the registration and stuff. And then after that, I don't know. I might have to just head out. Maybe Tuesday. I don't know. I think what I'm going to do, I've been looking at the maps and I've been looking online and Google Earth and the Erie Canal website and all that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pretty much make a beeline for Buffalo, New York. I'm going to try to make a beeline for Buffalo, New York. Now, I'll have to probably take 5 or 6 days. All right, guys, leave Vera alone. She's, for whatever reason, has her problems and issues. It's not her problem. If any of my moderators are on there, you can go ahead and ban her if you want, or put her on timeout, whatever. But in your travels, are you going to Erie, Pennsylvania? No, 12 degrees. I'm not going to be south in Pennsylvania. I'm going to be going across Erie Canal from Buffalo. From Buffalo over to Troy, New York, just above Albany. And then from Albany, I'm going to get on the Hudson River and run that south into New York City. So, checking the motor vehicle hours. They are sometimes closed Sunday and Monday. Well, if they're closed Sunday and Monday, I will. Thanks, Barb, for the good heads up. I'll check, and if they're closed, I mean, I'm going to call them before I walk over there, of course. But if they're closed, then I'll just go Tuesday. It's not a big deal. It's absolutely fine. So, the guy here has been really cool with me as far as any of those kind of expense. Are you going to stay on Lake Erie Islands? No, I don't want to go up to the North Shore up by Canada. I'm just going to run probably along the South Shore of Lake Erie, right along the Ohio line. There are about every 20 or 30 miles, there's some sort of river system or someplace where I can get off the lake should the weather turn inclement. I've got little baby hurricane holes, if you will, where I can pull in and pull off the lake and get in protected waters. So every, so often I can pull off someplace and, hey, Mary, how you doing? I can pull off someplace and get safe. And, and then, of course, check the weather windows and watch from there. So I don't know exactly how many days it's going to take me across Lake Erie. Best case scenario, it's going to be 5. Worst case scenario, it's going to be, the month of May. So I busted your ass to get this far. Yep, we're going to keep on, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not going to stop. I was even thinking today, what's the worst thing that can happen, okay? Let's say the engine doesn't start. Does the boat have an autopilot? Yes, it's got a really nice ST4000, really nice autopilot, actually, a wheel pilot. A real wheel pilot. So, very good heavy-duty pilot. If the worst-case scenario is the engine doesn't start. So, then I do, like I said, I do what Aubrey did. I could go ahead and buy one of those mounts where you mount an outboard motor onto the back of the cow and just use it for, docking and stuff, and then use the sails to get where I need to go. Worst thing is sinking if you own a boat. Well, yes, Bob, but I'm saying worst case scenario if the motor doesn't start is I could do that. And then, of course, I could just try to find another motor someplace. They do make them, so. In fact, I was thinking if I repowered it, I might, put a little Yanmar 3-banger in there or something like that. But I'm ahead of myself. There's no point in even thinking along those lines till we see if the ferryman starts. From what I understand, it's only got 70 hours since the last rebuild. So there's really no reason why it doesn't just fire up. Even though it's been sitting dormant, for diesels, that's usually not too bad. No, it's not a Volvo, it's a ferryman. Yanmar suck. Oh, I see. Okay. I bet your kids are excited to see the boat. No. No, not at all. My kids have not seen the boat. They're not going to come up and see the boat. They're really not interested. So 99% chance it starts and runs fine. Well, let's hope, man. From your lips to the world, let's hope that happens. One step at a time, it'll all work out. There you go, Barb. I agree with that. It will all work out. So I'm exhausted, man. When are you going to try to start it? Tomorrow. I'm going to work on, that's going to be the big job tomorrow. Today was getting all they'll change their minds, give them a chance. Today was eventually they will. Kids are a pain in the ass. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Big time. Today was all about getting the boat ready to float. It was, working on valves and caulking the depth sounder and cleaning inside. I got it all cleaned and not vacuumed, but cleaned and swept and sorted through all the stuff and threw out all the garbage. I mean, it was a big day today. So tomorrow we're going to work on the motor and see if we can get the motor started. And then actually we're not going to set the mast. We're not going to set the mast probably until Monday. Sit. Possibly Sunday, if not Monday, probably is when we'll set the mast. So we've got some time to worry about that. I've got to do some work to it first. So I don't know. I may not leave here till Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I mean, that's the nice thing about being a cruiser and living on a sailboat. My schedule is my schedule. I leave when I leave. I will take my boat and leave when I decide to take my boat and leave. There's no rush. There's no schedule. There's no appointments. There's my son gone prepping. Hey, Carl, how you doing, son? Gone prepping is my eldest son. Glad he's here. And he knows children are a pain in the ass because he has 2 boys. And his 2 boys can be a pain in the ass. I'm actually taking a little bit of sadistic pleasure in seeing, what goes around comes around, man. Do you have to take the mast back down? Yes. Yes, they are. I'll leave this weekend sailing from Adelaide to Melbourne. Nice. Very nice. There you go. Welcome, young Carl. You ought to bring your boys down to see the boat. I wish they would come up to see the boat. They're 3 hours south. If they want to come up, we get the motor running. I would love for them to come up and go out on the boat. Let's go out and go fishing one day. Hell, I'll make a point of hanging out here for a week or so if they want, so they can come do that. You got heat? No, there's no heat on the boat. Well, I shouldn't say that. The boat has no heat, but I do have a propane-powered camp heater, Coleman type thing that I can use on the boat. And I have a battery-operated, carbon monoxide detector, because I'm scared to death about falling asleep in the boat with a propane heater going and dying while I'm sleeping, Get asphyxiated. Not my idea of fun. So, but this time of year, it shouldn't be too bad. And I've got my blankie and I've got a wool blanket to pull over the top of that. I did drive down from Alaska. We're accustomed to cold. So with schedules and such, we would be lucky to make that trip once or twice. Well, hey, Carl, mate, if you want to come up next weekend, I'll be happy to hang out and wait and take you guys out for a day. Carl's probably still adapted to, Alaska weather. I'm not too worried about it. Clean fuel. Yes, I bought a new filter for it. I don't have parents or grandparents anymore. Give your dad, there you go. Carl Jr., we know your dad can be a knucklehead. Thanks, Sugar Chuck. Appreciate it, man. A knucklehead. Yeah, absolutely, man. Some crazy-ass bastard, that's for sure. Oh, man. As I'm sitting here, well, hey there, UK person. Has Miss Lily sailed before? Yeah, she sailed on my Cal 31 that I had up in Seattle. I mean, up in Alaska. She's an Alaska sailing dog. But guys, I kid you not, and I would show it to you, but they're so far away you wouldn't be able to see it. As I sit here right now, I can see 3 sailboats out in Sandusky Bay right now with their sails up. Just beautiful. Just beautiful. How's your real estate going in Key West? It's coming along, coming slowly, but it's coming along. We already got the tour. Did you guys see the tour video? It's worth a watch. Carl, I actually did on this live stream, earlier in this live stream, I showed everybody my mast and the boat floating. So there's more coverage of that. And then Saturday, I'm going to be home all day Saturday, Carl, because they're picking up my truck Saturday morning, and Rhonda's not going to run me up here till Sunday. So Saturday, I'm going to work on editing a couple other videos. I've got some GoPro footage and some drone footage and stuff like that I'm going to put together about the marina here in the area. But yeah, it's sort of nice looking out there and seeing some sails up. Awesome. Oh, exciting times, kids. Exciting times. He doesn't have really poor edited videos, so we haven't seen much. Yeah, I've not done an edited video in a while. You know, I do, as people have coined, I do these guerrilla video type videos. You know, I'll do live streams, or I'll just click on my phone and knock out, you know, a quick one shot, one take, no editing, down and dirty and fast. I missed the boat floating. After the live stream, Mary, if you go back and watch the beginning of the live stream, you'll see that. Hi, Carl. What size boat did you get? Hey, Wheatree, I bought a 1974 Cal 229. It's a 29-foot Cal. The Lily 2 can swim just like Lily. There you go. There you go. I would venture to say the Lily 2 would probably swim a little bit better than Miss Lily. It certainly had more practice. Yeah, Wheatree, it's an awesome boat. So far, I'm absolutely thrilled with it. The rigging looks to be in 80% condition. It's pretty good. The hull was in 100% shape. It's really good. I've swept and cleaned and mopped and cleaned up the interior and got all the extra junk off the boat. Man, they left a lot of stuff. Today I found a whole bunch of more stuff, a bunch of parts and pieces, and just amazing, all the stuff. A bosun's chair, tool sets. Are they excited for you? I don't know, Wheatree. You'd have to. My son's on here, Carl. You excited for me, or do you think I'm crazy? Hey, Rhonda, how you doing, darling? YouTube.com redirect. I'm not sure what that was, Rhonda. You trying to redirect everybody? Cows are bulletproof. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Cows are definitely bulletproof. Hey, Rhonda, are we still on? Absolutely bonkers. That's me. Rhonda, are we still on for Sunday? Did you get the brake work done on your truck? Can you confirm that at all, maybe? Because I'd really like to be able to count on that. Hey, Captain Catfish, how you doing? Seacock's okay. Well, Johnny Hag, what does that tell you? What do you think of that, huh? I had one, and of course, gate valves. I don't know why they put gate valves on, but there were gate valves. That's the Seacock that was the drain for the galley sink and the sink out of the head. Those two hoses run to this 3/4-inch gate valve and then out of the boat. And that's the only one that leaked. Everything else is sealed up tight. No leaks, no water coming in. Did my own live stream and missed the notifications. Oh, I'm sorry, Rhonda. I missed your live stream. Boats find their owners. Boat name almost. Yeah, you know, what's the odds of that, guy? I mean, actually, to be honest with you, I really came replace all gate valves with ball valves. I would do that, Johnny. I don't have the budget for that right now. I'm a big advocate of let sleeping dogs lie. The gate valves are there working. They open and close all fine. They all seem to work fine. Just this one had frost damage to it. The others all seem like they're okay. But yeah, I much prefer a ball valve because you can open a cabinet and look at it and immediately see whether it's open or closed, which you can't do with these with these gate valves. But what was I going to say before? Now you sidetracked me again. I'm tired, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just tired. What was I talking about? Hell, I don't know. Oh, yeah, the boat. Okay. Yes, Ian, we splashed. We are wet. The boat floats. My boat floats. So I bought this boat. I cleaned it all up today, washed the inside, got rid of all the extra stuff on the inside, closed all the valves. We got it in the water. I had to do a quick emergency. They set me in the water, and then I seen this leaking, so they pulled me back up out of the water. We took this off. I ran to the hardware store, got a replacement, installed it in like 20 minutes. That took, and now it's all holding water, and it's just fine. So we have not stepped the mast yet. We're probably not going to step the mast until Monday, I think. We're going to step the mast like Monday. Because I need to do a little bit of work to it, and I'm not going to have time to do it until Monday. Actually, I'll do it on Sunday and Monday. I got to wait for the store to open up on Monday so I can go pick up the rest of the parts I need for it. Lily is in the name of the boat. Yes, I'm sorry, Carl. Thank you. Yeah, so I came up to look at the boat, and I wasn't going to buy it. I really wasn't. It almost just was too nasty inside and too dirty inside. And I was really, hemming and hawing about buying it. And at this point, we got up the ladder and we got inside and we looked around and we walked around the hull and we looked around. I never noticed the name of the boat. So I told the guy, I'm going to go sit in my car and think about this for a minute, So I sat in my truck and I was thinking about, hey, Douglas, and thinking about it for a little bit. Anyhow, I got out of the truck and I walked back over to him, and I actually walked over there with the idea of telling him, man, I'm going to have to pass. It just needs too much work. But then I walked over and I looked at the name, and my dog's name is Lily, Miss Lily. The name of the boat, the Lily 2. What are the odds that the boat will have been named for my dog? What's the odds of that? That's a sign. That was some kind of a sign to me that this boat is just meant to be. I didn't come out looking specifically to try to buy a cow. In fact, I was looking for something with a sugar scoop or a little bit newer, in fact. I have owned 2 cows before, and I do have a comfort level with them. I know they're built like brick shed houses, and they're very tough little boats. So I was, pleased with that because, I'm a rough and tumble kind of person. So, but now in retrospect, the boat floats. The hull is in not perfect shape, but it's in really good shape. And the mast looks to be in really good shape. It just needs new lines on it, new halyards. So, a couple $100 for ropes there. And tomorrow I'm going to find out if the engine starts. I bought a new battery for the engine. We're going to set the battery into the engine compartment tomorrow and see if we can get the ferryman fired up. If the ferryman fires up, then I got the deal of the century as far as I'm concerned. If it doesn't fire up, then I still got a pretty damn good deal on a boat. Because somebody asked me how much I paid for it. I paid $2,000. I paid $300 down payment so far. I have to pay the balance on Sunday. I will have paid $2,000 for this boat. $2,000 for a 29-foot boat big enough for me to live on ad infinitum. A heavy enough boat that I could sail it around the world. These cows can be easily sailed. This boat was made in the Pacific Northwest. So I believe, if I read the history of it correctly, this boat actually sailed down the West Coast through the Panama Canal up through the Caribbean and made its way all the way up here into Lake Erie. I would have thought they would have trucked it over here, but no, it actually sailed all the way around with the original owner. The guy I bought it from has owned the boat for 20 years. It is a 2-cylinder Ferryman 8th. Is it 1 cylinder or 2 cylinders? I think it's 2 cylinders, but I don't know for a fact. Looking at it, I'm going to say it's a single cylinder. It's 12 horsepower. I think it's a single cylinder, Johnny. I think it is. I'm just tired. I don't remember. It's a diesel, so it doesn't have spark plugs. It's got glow plugs, but did the engine turn over by hand? Yes. Yeah, I can. The engine actually has, I can actually hand start it. I don't have to use the key. I can open up. It's got a little crank handle that goes into the front, and you can turn it like an old 8N Ford or something. So it's pretty cool. What did that say? Are you planning to sell it all the way to the Keys to use as a condo for your real estate work? Yes, that is what I am planning to do at this point. So that's the plan, but we shall see. We shall see. I did talk to Aubrey from Sailing Miss Lone Star. She also has an identical boat to mine. If you watch her boat that she bought for $1, the Little Miss that she bought for $1, that did not have a working diesel in it. She had the same engine, the Ferryman, but hers didn't work. She bought her boat for $1. It's in Boston right now. So she and I are planning on meeting up this summer in Boston and then sailing down the East Coast together. We've had some conversations about that. So you may see Miss Lone Star and me buddy boating. Aubrey is a cutie. She has a great channel. She does. Now, I must admit, I was very critical of her back when she was sailing Miss Pornstar. Yes, Mike, that's what I used to call her the same thing too. I was kind of disappointed in her. I was an asshole, to be honest with you. I was a jerk. But she has proved me wrong. She has proved me wrong, and she's doing awesome now. So that's the cool thing about it. Rhonda sent me a message. Rhonda, I can't look at it right now, darling. I am just way too tired. So, in fact, I'm just getting more tired sitting here. So I better end this pretty soon and get the rest of the stuff out of my truck unloaded so I can load the rest of the stuff up tomorrow, because I have got to have all my stuff moved onto the boat by the end of tomorrow. So I've got one more truckload. Probably won't fill my truck the rest of the stuff I have, but I need to get everything out of here. I still got the outboard motor and the dinghy and all that stuff. Hey, do you guys want to see the dinghy and stuff? Up on the boat. I haven't got no. Do you guys want to see my dinghy? That sounds bad, doesn't it? I don't mean in that kind of a fashion, kids. Oh gosh, I'd love to tickle the beer. Yeah. Keeps my neck warm. Let me take you out of the holder once again. I'm gonna walk you around back and show you the dinghy, and I'll let Miss Lily out for a minute. There's nobody here in the boatyard besides me right now. So hold on a second. It might get a little shaky while I'm doing this, okay? Oh, gobble was timed out. There you go. Thanks, Rhonda. Oh, dog. Just knock me over, why don't you? Hold on. Let me turn this around so you can see her goofiness. What are you doing? What are you doing? Go on, go do your business. All right. Oh, back of the truck. There's my new $142 battery. It's a Marine severe duty dual purpose. Should do the job. This is my new outboard. Whoop, hold on. There we go. Look at that. Ooh. Yep, brand spanking new. It's actually used, but it's only got about 30 hours on it. It's a Mercury 3.3 horsepower outboard. And I mean, it's like in perfect shape. It just looks like it's in perfect shape. So that's cool. And then underneath of that, down there, this is my dinghy. This is the Airfloor dinghy from West Marine. They sell for, I think it's $600 at West Marine for that dinghy. And so, there we go. And so I bought the dinghy and the outboard motor for $750. Dog, what are you doing? You guys want to see her be goofy? Where are you? You being goofy? What do you have? Huh? What do you have? What are you doing? Well, no, you're not being goofy. Did you do your business or are you just playing? You're just playing. No, that's a dead fish. Come on, leave that. Leave that. You don't need dead fish parts. By the way, for those of you that came late, there's Sandusky Bay. That is the amusement park over there in that area, but there's Sandusky Bay. And you may not be able to see it. There's a sailboat right there, another sailboat there, another sailboat there. And then there's a couple towers out there, but... All right, Kendall. Ah. Well, I'll tell you what, a lot of you guys came late. Why don't I go ahead and show you the mast and the boat again for you latecomers. Here's my mast. Got a Variant and Barlow winches. But that's what my stick looks like. My spreaders need to be repainted. It's got one broken light I need to replace. I'm going to replace both of them, hopefully with some LEDs. And this is what the top of the mast looks like. Right there. I'd like to replace this with a LED, but that's what my mast top looks like while she's laying down. And there's the boat. There's the boat, and she's still floating. All this time we've been talking, she did not sink. Which is what I was afraid she might do. I got an anchor out on the bow. But I got stuff I have to put away yet. There you go. There's the Lily 2. Yep, that's it. Guys, that's my $2,000 boat. Okay? I'm paying $2,000 for a 1974 Cal 229, and it looks like, I'm pretty optimistic that the engine's going to fire tomorrow. Now, I might need to bleed the lines, might need to go ahead and change that fuel filter before it'll start, and I'm sure Gary here at the marina is going to give me a hand, but I'm pretty confident that it's going to fire up. And if that's the case, then I am 100% operational on the boat. I will be able to take the boat immediately and go do whatever I want, wherever I want for the near distant future. So looks good in the water, nice looking boat. Thank you guys. Sorry I wasn't responding to any comments while I was walking around. I can't read them while I'm out walking. Do you have a working bilge pump? Now, Doc, yes and no. I have a working bilge pump and I have a working float switch. I just don't have them installed yet. There is a manual bilge pump on the boat. However, the manual bilge pump, the diaphragm on it just went out today as I was pumping the water out of the bilge that had accumulated. It had dry rotted and stuff. And of course, I went over to Worst Marine and they're like, well, 3 days to 3 weeks before we get a replacement. So once again, the high priority for me will be getting the new bilge pump and the new float switch installed so that we have, that the safety of having an automatically pumping bilge should the water accumulate in there. And then of course I still have to go out and buy the second house battery. The one battery is going to, this is the engine start battery. I'm putting in a second battery for a house battery to be able to power stuff. I'm also going to pick up a generator to carry on board the boat because I really need to have, it's the lowest cost option for me right now. It's the simplest thing for me to do. I need to be able to power my laptop for editing. I need to be able to recharge the cameras and all that, and that's all 110. The alternator on the boat would generate enough power and maintain the battery banks, and I could put an inverter in that, but I'd have to be running that engine that much more, which I'm hoping to not. I mean, obviously I'm going to use it a lot going down the Erie Canal, but I'm hoping to really keep that to a minimum, if at all possible. So I'd like to rely on just a regular generator, small generator. I saw one for $600 at Home Depot today. It has a built-in inverter. It's already got all the USB plugs and all that kind of stuff in it. It's made for high-end electronics and stuff like that for 600 bucks. I'm just going to buy that and put it on board, and that way I've got my own independent power source. And then, of course, I can use my cell phone for Wi-Fi and set it up as a Wi-Fi for my computer to work off of. It'll be a hub. And so I'll have, cellular style internet everywhere along the way. And I should have 100% coverage everywhere on my trip. Are you going to update to a bigger boat once your real estate takes off? Yeah, probably will. For two reasons. I imagine that sometime along the way, there's going to be, how did you refer to me earlier, King of Chuck? A knucklehead? Hopefully there'll be a Mrs. Knucklehead at some point that'll join me along the way. I would like to have a boat with a sugar scoop to get in and out easier. Yeah, the Honda 2000 for $1,000, that's about $500 more than I want to spend. Was generator a Generac or a Ryobi? It was a Ryobi, actually. Check out the Harbor Freight. I was just looking for a generator. Yeah, there are some people. Lily, sit. There are some places where I could get a generator. Where I could get a generator cheaper. But guys, I no longer have an address to ship stuff to. That's something that a lot of people don't seem to understand. I just can't, get on the phone and order something and have it delivered because I don't have an address. These guys are nice enough for me, that some packages were delivered here for me. But that's not what these guys do. This is not that kind of marina. A lot of other marinas, for the, what did they say they were going to charge me? $2 a foot. The marina over by Buffalo is $2 a foot per night. So $58 a night for me to park my boat in there and have access to the bathroom and showers. Be careful with the Ryobi. They break down a lot and have a customer complaint about the brand. Have you seen Amazon for manual rebuild kits or replacements? I have a Harbor Freight store here where I live. I think Briggs & Stratton makes a generator the size of the Ryobi for close to the same price. Can you get a P.O. box? Doc, I have a post office box, but it's down in Florida. I'm probably not going to see my post office box till November, so that doesn't do me very, very much good. While I'm traveling along the way, there's no way for mail to catch. So what you do is you make arrangements with these various marinas, and then it requires me to have to go in and spend a night in the marina and spend the $60 for the one night to be in the actual marina. But if I did that, then I could say, hey, I'm going to have some packages shipped ahead to me, and they'll be arriving before I get there, and they'll just set them aside and hold them until I get there. You can kind of play that game a little. But other than that, logistically, it's very difficult to order something online and have it shipped to me. So, Rural King, it's in Circleville. Yeah, Rhonda, by the time I have the money to buy the generator, I'm not going to have a car to run to Circleville to get stuff. That's why I need you to drive me up to the boat on Sunday. I missed some. My girlfriend just got home, so I needed to pause. What about windmill? Windmill to charge the batteries? I don't have the funds for that right now. I don't have the funds for solar panels. I don't have the funds for wind turbines. I don't have the funds for any of that stuff right now. I don't have $1,000 to lay out for that kind of stuff. I have to do the simplest, fastest thing for me to do. Yeah, I know what he means, a wind generator. The fastest, simplest thing for me to do is just buy a generator. I did look online and I saw some nice generators that would work for like $250. Tractor Supply had one over here for $200. 1,800 watts. But it's this great big huge honking thing that would just, I don't know where I would have something that large. It's just that much bigger. The Ryobi I kind of liked because it was smaller. It had an inverter built into it. It was putting out both 12 volt and 110. It was charging my electrical devices and stuff directly off of it. So it just seemed like a good idea at the time. But I don't know. I'll find what I find, but I'm hoping when Rhonda drives me up here on that day, we've got a few stops that we have to make along the way. I'm gonna stop at like Cabela's and a few other places. Um, well, actually, I don't need to stop at Cabela's now because that guy's sending me up. He's shipping me a stove. He got the stove shipped to him, so he's shipping me up a propane stove for the boat as a gift. Really nice guy, and he sent me the adapter, and that's what I was gonna get at Cabela's, so I don't need that anymore. I don't know. I've got a list of things. I'm getting bleary-eyed here. Guys, I'm going to have to end this because I still have to get this stuff unloaded onto the boat and get on the road. I have to drive all the way down to Lancaster. I got a 3-hour drive ahead of me yet, and I still have an hour here of getting this stuff put on the boat and going. So let me go ahead and end this here. I appreciate those guys that jumped on the super chat and donated. That was really nice of you. That's a nice stove gift. Yeah, Mary, it was awesome. Awesome. Yeah, really super guy. So you guys all take care of yourself. Be good and be careful. And please do take good care of one another. I would appreciate it. Anyhow, we'll have more for you later, kids. Be good and be careful. We'll see you then. Bye.